There are days when everything feels heavier. Days when you wake up already tired, with a racing mind, a tense body, and a feeling that's hard to explain, as if something inside is out of balance. Maybe you're having one of those days right now. And if you are, this video is for you. Because self-care is not just something we practice on calm, organized days. Self-care matters most on difficult days, when energy is low, sadness shows up unexpectedly, and mental overload feels constant. Today, we're talking about simple, quick self-care practices for moments like these. Nothing complicated, nothing unrealistic, just small actions that can help ease tension, soften sadness, and bring a sense of kindness toward yourself when you need it most. If this topic resonates with you, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the notification bell. That support helps WellState continue creating content that informs and cares. On difficult days, it's very common to feel like you should still be functioning at your best or keeping up with everything. That internal pressure, even when unspoken, only adds to emotional weight. The first and perhaps most important act of self-care is acknowledging how you feel without judgment, simply recognizing today is hard and allowing that to be true. This validation alone can reduce tension because it removes the need to fight your own emotions. Feelings don't resolve through force, but through awareness and acceptance. One quick and accessible practice in moments like this is regulating your breathing, not as a strict technique, but as a gentle invitation to slow down. Breathe in through your nose in a comfortable way, allowing the air to fill your abdomen, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeating this for a few cycles sends a signal to your body that it can step out of constant alert mode. Deep breathing helps calm the nervous system and creates a small pocket of relief, even if the problem itself doesn't disappear. It's not about eliminating sadness or anxiety, but about reducing their intensity so you can move through the moment with more steadiness. Another important form of self-care on hard days is reducing stimulation. When your mind is overloaded, too much information, noise, social media, or negative news tends to worsen how you feel. If possible, slow things down. Lower the volume around you, step away from screens for a few minutes, and choose a quieter space. This simple adjustment allows your brain to rest and helps untangle thoughts that feel scattered. In moments like these, self-care also means giving your mind permission to pause. Your body often carries emotional strain before you consciously notice it. Tight shoulders, a clenched jaw, shallow breathing, or vague aches are common signs. A quick practice is to bring attention to these areas and intentionally soften them. Drop your shoulders, relax your jaw, allow your body to settle where you are. Gentle stretching, even while seated, can release some of the tension you've been holding. Slow movements communicate safety to the nervous system and help reduce the feeling of overload. Expectations also matter a lot on difficult days. Trying to maintain the same level of productivity you have on good days is often unrealistic. Self-care means adjusting expectations to match your emotional reality. Maybe today, your best looks like doing less, but doing it with more care. Shortening your task list, focusing only on what's essential, and allowing yourself to postpone what isn't urgent is not failure, it's emotional intelligence. Food and hydration also play a role, even if they seem like small details. During stress or sadness, it's easy to forget to drink water or skip meals. Offering your body something simple and nourishing is a very concrete form of care. It doesn't have to be perfect. A glass of water, a warm tea, a basic meal. These physical supports quietly strengthen your emotional state. On difficult days, self-critical thoughts often become louder. Harsh inner dialogue, excessive pressure, constant comparisons. An important practice is noticing these thoughts without fully believing them. Thoughts are not facts. When you catch a critical voice, try gently replacing it with a more compassionate one, the way you would speak to someone you care about. This shift doesn't happen instantly, but each small attempt creates a kinder inner environment. Another simple strategy is reconnecting with something mildly comforting or pleasant. It doesn't need to be anything big. Listening to calming music, taking a warm shower, enjoying a familiar scent, or simply looking out the window for a few minutes. These experiences activate feelings of safety and presence, helping your body move out of survival mode. It's important to remember that self-care is not about fixing everything at once. On difficult days, it works like small anchors throughout the day, brief moments repeated over time that tell your internal system, you're not alone, I'm here taking care of you. This consistency is far more powerful than any quick solution. As the day goes on, energy often continues to drop. That's why self-care also involves noticing your limits as time passes, paying attention to when your body asks for rest, when your mind becomes foggy, or when irritability increases. These signs are not weaknesses, they're important messages. Ignoring them usually leads to deeper exhaustion. Respecting them is a meaningful form of emotional care. A very helpful practice in these moments is grounding yourself in the present. When the mind is overwhelmed, it tends to jump to future worries or replay past pain. Bringing attention back to the here and now helps reduce anxiety. Notice what's around you. Observe colors, sounds, textures. Feel your feet on the ground or your body supported by the chair. This simple exercise helps the mind step out of the storm and return to something more stable. Rest without guilt is another essential aspect of self-care. In a culture that values constant productivity, resting on hard days can trigger feelings of failure. But rest is a biological and emotional necessity, not a reward. Allowing yourself to lie down, sleep a little longer, or simply do nothing for a few minutes is a legitimate form of care. The body restores itself through rest, and so does the mind. Emotional expression also matters. If possible, sharing with someone you trust that the day is difficult can significantly lighten the internal load. Not to look for immediate solutions, but simply to be heard. When that's not an option, writing about what you're feeling can help putting emotions into words, brings clarity, and reduces inner chaos. It doesn't have to be polished or logical, just honest. On days marked by sadness or overwhelm, many people withdraw completely. While moments of solitude are healthy, prolonged isolation can intensify suffering. Self-care is about finding balance, respecting your need for quiet while maintaining some level of connection, even a small one. A short message, a brief conversation, or even listening to calm human voices can ease feelings of loneliness. It's also important to remember that self-care does not replace professional support when emotional distress becomes intense or persistent. If difficult days are happening frequently, if sadness doesn't lift, or if mental overload begins to interfere with daily life, seeking professional help is an act of responsibility toward yourself. Mental health deserves the same attention as physical health. Another important point is letting go of the idea that self-care always feels positive or motivating. On difficult days, care is often quiet, simple, and subtle. Getting out of bed without motivation, taking a shower while exhausted, breathing deeply even without much hope. These small actions still matter, even when they feel insignificant. Over time, practicing self-care on difficult days teaches something powerful. You begin to trust yourself. You learn that even when things feel heavy, you have the capacity to offer yourself some support. This doesn't eliminate pain, but it changes your relationship with it. Pain becomes a signal asking for attention, not an enemy to fight. At the end of the day, try to acknowledge at least one thing you did for yourself, no matter how small it seems. That recognition strengthens emotional self-worth and helps build a more compassionate inner relationship. Self-care also means honoring efforts that often go unseen. If this content was helpful to you, consider liking the video, subscribing to Well State channel, and turning on the notification bell so you can continue receiving thoughtful, responsible content about well-being, mental health, and quality of life. Thank you for being here, for taking care of yourself, and for allowing this space to be part of your journey. May you move forward with more gentleness, respecting your own pace, and remembering that difficult days pass, especially when you don't face them alone.